Here we are set up for a basic play of Pagan. There are certain scenarios that may alter this, but this is the basic game setup. You are going to grab the enchantment board and put it at one end. You are going to get the 3 villager boards, place them in a row. Then you're going to look at the number here. This is the one of these blue cards. You're going to look in the back, find the blue card that has the 1, then the 2, and then the 3, repeating that for green and red. You are going to be grabbing this deck of suspect cards, putting it, shuffling up, and putting it next to the board. You're then going to choose who is the witch and who is the hunter. I'm going to be showing you the witch first, but let's finish up with setup. So, in your faction, either the witch or the hunter, you're going to grab your main board, you're going to grab your action board, you're going to grab your tokens. In the instance of the witch, it's the secrets and the favors. You're going to grab the deck, you're going to shuffle it up, you're going to draw 3 cards, you're going to get 2 influence on your dial, and you're going to grab your 3 action tokens. The hunter obviously will be doing all this with the hunter deck and with their own board. The witch is then going to draw one of the suspect cards, look at it in secret, and this is who the witch is. So they will set that off to the side, not letting the hunter see it. You then can have a player aid if you need it. On this side, it's notice the upkeep phase and the action phase, and this has all the various icons. You are then ready to begin. The witch is the first player. The goal of the game is, if you are the witch, is to either perform the ritual by having, in this instance, Stranger Sue has at least 3 of these tokens on them, and then you perform the ritual. Or, if the hunter kills 3 innocent people, you also win. The hunter needs to either kill who you are on the board, or they need to exonerate the rest of the people in this deck, thus proving their innocence and then knowing who you are. I'll get into the hunter's actions after we discuss the witch. So on your turn, you are going to be using your action pawns to do various actions. In the first turn of the game that the witch plays, they're only going to be playing 2 of them. They are not going to be playing out their familiar. That will be set aside, so they're only going to have these 2. However, every future turn, they will be using 3 tokens. The main thing you'll be doing as the witch is you are going to be visiting a villager. This is denoted on the player board here of what that all entails. But you're going to grab one of your action pawns and you're going to put it on a ready villager. A ready villager is a villager that does not already have an action pawn on it, whether it be yours or the hunter's. So when you go to visit a villager, you'll just place it on them. So we'll say we go to Preacher. You're then going to look down, or first thing you're going to do as a witch is, if you have 3 secrets on them, you can choose to convert it to a favor. You can do this up to 2 times. So if they have 6 secrets, you can turn it into 2 favor. So you would just remove the secrets and place the favor token on there. Seeing as we don't have anything on there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at this corner here and see what color cards denote it and how many. In this instance, it's red, and there's 2. You are then going to take 2 secrets, and you're going to distribute them how you want to the red cards, 2 on 1, or putting them on separate people like that. After you distribute that, you're going to use the villager's skill. They all do different things. The Preacher is playing a card, Stranger Sue is drawing cards, and Bo Johnson has you gaining influence. And then these all have various other powers, but they're all plays on drawing cards, playing cards, and gaining influence, just in certain different ways. If you have 2 favors on the villager, you are able to do the skill twice. Then, if you used your familiar token, you are able to use its ability or its empowered ability. Which, let me go over the different types of cards the witch has, seeing as we would be playing a card. So when you have the cards, you are going to see that they have a cost up in the corner. That is how much influence you need to spend. And then there are various different icons up in the corner that mean different things. This first one, that looks kind of like a heart, is a charm. You are going to play it, you are going to resolve the text, and then you are going to discard it. Next up, you have an enchantment. When you pay an enchantment, you are going to have this cost right up there, and then you're going to place the enchantment on the leftmost available enchantment board spot. This first spot is no additional cost. If you go to play an enchantment in the next spot, it's +1 influence, +2 influence. So if I were to play this card in this spot, it would cost me a total of 4 influence. The next card is a familiar card. So when you play a familiar card, you're going to put it into one of your familiar spots. If all 3 spots are filled, you're going to have to choose one to discard in order to put another one out. When these cards are out and you use your familiar token at a location, you are then able to use this ability. So in this instance, if the visited villager has at least 3 of those on it, pay 2 to remove one of those. It also has an empowered ability that you can choose to do instead. And in this instance, you'll discard 1 card, and then it only needs to have at least 1 on it. So that would be a familiar. The last one is Bruise. Again, a cost to play it, but this 4 one up here is when you go to place your secrets, you can, instead of placing them on the villagers, place them on the brew. Once you have reached this many on there as a free action, you can consume the brew, doing whatever is denoted here. And when you play these, they go to your brew location on your board. Again, if you are filled, you have to discard something. So that is visiting a villager, and that is consuming a brew. These next 2 are available to you and the hunter. You can place your token here to either gain 2 influence, draw a card, or play a card. This next one is to ready a villager. So as long as you have one of these on a villager, and say my action, the hunter's action pawn was there, you can go here, you can spend this, and then remove that person's action pawn, thus making it available for you to be able to use it with a new action pawn. Finally, you have the end is nigh. This is how you win as the witch. You are going to place an action pawn on a ready villager who is the true witch. So in this instance, Stranger Sue. And she needs to have at least 3 of these favor tokens on them. Then you win the game. So that is it. Is at the beginning of your turn, if she was like that, you can just go bam, I perform the ritual, reveal your card, and you are the winner. So that is the basics of how the witch is played. A lot of the other stuff kind of comes from how certain cards interact with things, or how they pertain to stuff, and like the familiars, the different actions they're able to do. But that is the basics of the witch. So now let me get set up and I'll show you the hunter. Alright, so here we are set up for the hunter. Same thing. They're going to start with 2 influence, and they're going to start with a hand of 3 cards. I've started with an enchantment out here because I want to show you something when they do their actions. So one thing I forgot to mention on the witch's turn is at the beginning of each turn is an upkeep phase, which is where you bring back all of your action pawns, and then any obligatory or optional upkeep actions you do. So the witch would do that. The hunter has one additional step in that they have allies, and some of the allies may have a cost during upkeep. I'll get into that when I get into the allies. And then you will need to discard down until you have 7 cards in your hand. So the witch will do that as well, outside of paying upkeep for allies. I forgot to mention that when we went over the witch. So the hunter's actions are very similar in the top part to a witch. Is you can visit a villager doing their actions and spraying around your clues like they spread around secrets. So in this instance, again, say we go to Preacher Wulfric, where we can play a card. So if there is any investigation cards, I go over those here in a minute. You would do those. If there was at least 3 clues on the character, you would gain an evidence token, putting it in your supply. You are then going to distribute the clues. Again, this one would be to the reds. You then would use the villager skill. So for the hunter's cards, the hunter has events. So event has this icon in it. Again, cost is denoted up here. This is similar to the witch's charms, and you're going to play it. You're going to do the designated action, and then it's going to get discarded. You then have these investigation cards. They have the magnifying glass. When you play this, you are going to play it to the side of the board that's denoted. So in this instance, it shows the witch icons. So you would be placing it on the witch's side of the board. If it denoted the hunter's icons, you'd put it on your side of the board. And then this gets resolved before you do anything else. So for instance, this one is on the witch's side. It's treat the villager skill text as blank. So if I had this on Hunter Adams and the witch goes here, they would carry out all of the abilities and actions that they would normally do, except they would not be able to do his text because it's considered blank. So that is investigation cards. You have location cards. You'll see the little icon here that denotes you can put an action token. You're going to pay the cost, and you're going to put it into one of these denoted areas here. Again, if you have 3 in there, you can put it out. You just have to choose one to discard. The last type they have are allies. I have 2 here for examples. So you're going to see they have the little hands up here, a cost. When you play them, they're going to go down here in your ally section. If you have 3, discard 1 to be able to put out another one. But you'll also notice on here they have the little upkeep symbol in this red bar. That is the cost to keep them that you need to do in upkeep. If you're unable to play it, they need to be discarded. So the preacher has 0, but this clerk has an upkeep of 1 influence. So you need to pay 1 influence every upkeep in order to keep them out. So that is their different cards. The other actions they can take is activate a ready location, which basically means put it on there and then perform the action. Raid a villager. You're going to place your action pawn on a ready villager, and then you're going to pay 3 clues to be able to remove 1 favor or all secrets from that villager. So if the witch has built this up, I can go here if they have 3 to then remove those 3 and get rid of theirs. Lift enchantment. So you'll put your action pawn down here, and then you'll lift the enchantment. You'll look at an enchantment card. It's got a cost denoted right here. That is what you need to pay. Once you pay it, this gets discarded to the witch's discard and is no longer in effect. Gain 2, draw 2, just like the witches, as you can gain 2 influence, you can draw a card or you can play a card. Exonerate a villager. You go there, you are going to spend 3 of these evidence tokens. You then are going to draw a suspect card, looking at it, but keeping it face down and hidden from the witch so they don't know who you know they're not. Ready a villager is, if the witch's token was here, I could spend this to move their action token back, thus making them ready for me to be able to do stuff on them. Finally, you have eliminate a villager. This one requires a lot of clues everywhere. You need to have 3 clues on someone and at least 1 clue on all other villagers. Once that happens, as long as that character is ready, you're going to place your pawn on there and you're going to say you're going to eliminate them. That is basically mean you are killing them. You then see if the witch is that character. If they are, you have won the game. If the witch is not, all of your tokens get removed from all villagers. And then you would keep playing, again, trying to figure out who the witch is. That is the basics of the hunter. Similar to the witch, a lot of the other nuances and other rules come from playing in with the deck. So again, you are going to play until either the witch successfully performs the ritual or the hunter kills 3 innocent individuals. The hunter is going to win if he kills the witch or if he ends up drawing all these cards, thus figuring out who the witch is. So again, that is the basics of Pagan, Fate of Roanoke. There are, as I said, little expansion packs that will add stuff to this that might have different scenarios and the way you set up and villagers you use. And the packs also have different villagers and whatnot. But that is basically it. If you wanted to see all this stuff without the teach, there is a link up above for that unboxing. But if I could please go ahead and get you to head down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell for this video. Let me know if you yourself have one of the scenario packs and if you enjoy it. Also down below are ways of helping the channel of joining our Patreon, hitting up our Ko-fi, or joining the channel itself with the join button down below, where you can get exclusive early access to our videos or certain videos that are only available to members of this channel. Alrighty, so get out and invade that witch hunter.